Welcome back to the New Collector Challenge. I've got a ton of updates for you guys. We sold some cards, we bought some cards, and I want to talk to you guys about how to efficiently sell your cards on eBay in today's episode. Now, if you're new here, this is episode 3 of the New Collector Challenge. I've got the first episode right above there if you want to see it to get the full kind of background and breakdown. But the big picture is we started off 2025 with $100 in our pocket and no inventory, no cards, and we want to see how good of a card business we can grow and how much of a personal collection we can grow. The one caveat, though, is I'm not building my personal collection. I'm hoping to build yours. We are going to take the profits from this series and try and obviously build a card business where we see lots of profits and money that we can continually invest into the card business. But I'm also hoping to show that you can use the hobby to fund the hobby and buy you guys some cards. So we're going to be doing some giveaways, going to be buying you guys personal collection cards as we start to build our business here and start to see some profits. So if you want to be able to, enter all of those giveaways that we're going to be doing, as well as see the updates on the series, make sure to subscribe if you're not already. But now let's get to the updates on the cards that we sold and then the cards that we bought. So starting off, we sold the 2 Shohei Ohtani rookie cards that we bought. We bought these for 30 something bucks total for $100, which is pretty good. Now eBay fees, all this and that. I'm going to take you guys over to the Excel sheet after I show you our pickups to show you where we're at. You can always get that. That's in the link in the description down below. Full Excel sheet to track the challenge completely. But $100 on those 2 Ohtanis, very solid profit. Yadier Molina, we bought this one for $4 and change. Selling it for $8. After fees, you only profit a few bucks, but profit's profit. We'll take it. Win is a win. Tristan Casas, we sold the blue Ray Wave. That's still a pretty solid one because we bought that as well as the yellow at a 75 for like $4 combined. So only $2 a card. And the blue Ray Wave, well, that sold for $10 by itself. So really solid win there. That pays for the yellow and then some. So when that yellow sells, that's going to be just pure profit that we have. And the final one that we've sold thus far is the Barry Bonds Power Players Refractor. That one we got on a crazy good deal, like $6 for that card when it was comping for 60 to 80. Now, I sold my copy for $50. It did have a little bit of a white on the corner, which obviously does hurt the value of the card. Could I have gotten, $5, maybe $10 more for it? Potentially, but I also think that's a really important lesson to think about and learn when you are flipping cards is sometimes you got to just take the profit and run. You are never going to go broke making a profit. If you can do that, go ahead. I knew that I was going to make money here. I may have been able to hold out, as I said, for a few extra dollars, but I'd rather take the win and move on and be able to buy more cards to continue growing and doing more with this challenge. And so that leaves us with a few pieces of inventory left. We have the Bobby Witt Jr. on the green Sonar. We have the dual relic of Anthony Rizzo and Garrett Cole. We have the Casas on the variation short print. We have the Casas yellow, and then the O'Neal Cruz. But as you see, that's only 5 cards, which isn't enough inventory-wise, and we were pretty liquid. Now, I was hoping to go to a local card show, but given that these sold so quickly, I went to a local card shop this weekend while we were away. Let's check out what I was able to find and give you some context as to why sometimes you can do great at a shop and sometimes maybe not. I was able to grab a few things, but not a ton, as a little spoiler alert there. So the very first thing that I saw when I walked in the door was a bunch of $2, $3, $5 boxes. They said they were sorted. They were not actually sorted. Started flipping through and kind of quickly came to realize there was some interesting stuff in here, but not a ton. As you can see, sometimes I'm putting a card back behind it. Those are the ones that I was going to look at. In all reality, none of them were worth what they were asking for, to put it pretty bluntly. So that was a little difficult. Spent some time sorting through, but pretty quickly came to realize that while these were deemed value boxes, there was not going to be much value in these value boxes. Very depends on the shop. Some shops are great for it. Some shops are not. This one, I wasn't really able to find a ton, which just good to recognize. I didn't spend the time to go through every single box, which is good. Like this one, I was like, oh, is that Montgomery numbered? It was not. That's me not knowing a lot about football cards, but still, front through some stuff. There's some number stuff things. It's just nothing huge. Being able to quickly identify, though, that there was nothing worth my time was really, really important here to then move on to the showcases, which is the next thing that I looked at. So here, some football stuff. My problem is the things are priced about what they should be. And that makes sense for them as a card shop, but for this challenge necessarily, that makes things a little bit more difficult. It's a really cool Pete Alonso there on the short print variation, but that does 10 to 15 bucks a lot of times online from what I saw. Again, this nice gunner on the gold, Allen and Ginter. Again, at comps, if not actually maybe a little high. This Corbin Carroll was a $15 card. I looked it up. I like that. The Julio was spot on at $15 as well. So good one. Finally seemed to find some value here. Nice Ohtani, nice Stephen Kwan. You're going to notice a few of these in just a second, but looked at that Sebastian Walcott. No real comps on a 10. Cool Ohtani there. So some cool stuff in the showcase finally, but pickings were a little slim. So as you saw, we found some stuff in that final case. The deals weren't amazing. They didn't have a ton of value box stuff, but some solid ones. We had this Shohei Ohtani, which is the Sapphire Japanese-born home run record. We got the Stephen Kwan on the rookie card here. Now this one is numbered out of 199. Kwan is not the most liquid guy, but he's very talented, and he does sell enough. He's very, very good. So I think he has a market. It was worth taking a shot on. The Pete Crow Armstrong on the home field advantage. I love PCA. I think he's super talented. Very high hopes for him this year. And the biggest pickup of the day was the Shohei Ohtani Ichiro on the Japan's Finest Rainbow Foil rookie. Now, these 4 cards, they were asking $30 on the Ohtani, $20, so that's $50, excuse me. $10 on the Kwan, so that's $60, and then they were asking $20 on the PCA home field advantage. I was able to get this lot for $60, so after taxes, it was like $65. So I thought that was pretty solid, but let's look at the current update as to where we are, and then I'm going to show you guys how I list these on eBay. So as things stand, on the year, we are looking at $41.26 in profit. We have all those cards, though, that we showed, both the leftover inventory and the new inventory. We've got 9 cards right now in total inventory. Overall, pretty good, though. Spent $269.20, but we've brought in $310.46 of revenue, keeping things rolling, keeping things moving. This Excel sheet, if you come down to the bottom of the page here as well, you can see our expenses. You can track everything. So the sports card shop that I was at was called Cranks. Got that lot for $65.55. You can also see all of our revenue, so you can see exactly how much we're paying on fees. So Barry Bonds, it was a $50 sale. They paid $4.37 in shipping. Paid $8 in fees, $4.14 in shipping there. So we walked away with $42.15. So you can always track all of this, as I said, in the description down below, available to you guys to check out anytime. But now we need to actually sell these cards that we have not listed on eBay. And on the last video, I got a lot of questions about how do you list cards on eBay? What's the most efficient way? So I figured I'd show you. And to be honest, I think the most efficient way is to do it right from your phone. So I'm going to record on my phone as I do it, and it's going to go pop up right here for you guys. So I recommend going to your eBay app on your phone, and you just type in the card that you're looking for. Now, I already typed this one in, copied it, pasted it just for the sake of the video. And you can see these are all other rainbow foil copies of the card we're looking to sell. Now, I'm going to go over to sold listings because I prefer basing my listing on one that has actually sold. And the main reason for that is I want to make sure that we're going off of one that had a good listing, had good information, etc., etc. So this one sold for 70-something bucks, which is more in the range that we're hoping to see versus the auction comp that recently ended. However, sometimes you run into this. You see there's no information here, so we're not going to do that one because the whole purpose of this process is it allows you to piggyback on the work that somebody else already did, where it's going to autofill all the information for you. Sometimes that happens. Just pick a different one. As you can see here, it lists all of the parallel, the card number, all this and that. The card is not professionally graded. Now ours, I'm going to categorize it as excellent. It probably could get away with near mint or better, but I want to be clear that this card has some small issues. It's got a little bit of an edge issue, a little bit of a corner issue. So I would rather personally play it safe than try and be aggressive and have a buyer who's not going to be happy. So then you're going to add your photos. I like to take my photos on a nice clear background here. So it takes the front. Then we are going to take the back photo. And then the final photo that we're going to take is, I always will recommend, and you guys get to watch the camera just sit here for a second, but putting the card into a top loader and taking a picture of it in the top loader. I can't tell you the number of times that I get DMs and questions saying, hey, is my card going to ship in a top loader? And the answer is yes, but there's no sense in needing to have people have that question. So you're going to have that. You click add your photos, buy it now. I think $60 is a perfectly fine price, especially given the fact that ours has that corner issue. I expect to sell it for less, but start high and hope that somebody comes and makes an offer, or maybe just clicks it and buys it now. So we're listing it. Last question here. eBay asks if you want to do a promoted listing. Now my answer here is Yes, but, and this is the one thing you can't really do on the eBay app, you can't change the rate. eBay wants you to promote this. Their suggested rate is 13%, which means that you're going to pay an additional 13% fee on top of your 13% fee. That's too high for me. I generally promote 2 to 3%. I think that's just that little bump helps a lot. I think it helps my card just sell a little bit quicker. So I'm going to click no thanks. And then you're good to go. All set. Your card is listed and you can move on to the next one. And now I like to do it on the phone like that because I find it easier to streamline the process. You're able to take the pictures right from your phone. You don't have to wait and say you're going to send them over to your laptop or anything of that nature. You can do it all right from your phone. If you search the card, find the right card, it tends to be pretty quick, pretty streamlined. When I'm focused, when I am, in the zone, not trying to also record content, I find that I can list about a card every minute or two. So it takes me, 10 minutes to list these 4 cards, if that, 5 cards, which is very, very little time. The eBay algorithm likes it when you're listing cards consistently. Like any website, any app, any social media, eBay has an algorithm. If they know that you are constantly listing cards, that you are being active on the platform, they are more likely to push your cards up in the search function. Now, I know that I'm promoting them a little 2% promotion, but they want to reward you for being active on eBay, for being consistent, for consistently listing items, because they don't make money if you aren't making sales. So my recommendation is, if you've got a stack of cards, got all the things, might feel like it's easier to just sit down and crank it out in an hour, you can do that. But I also recommend having some consistency on your eBay listings because it does really, really help in terms of your listings getting sold, which I think is really important. It helps them get seen, which is what you're looking for. So that's how I list cards on eBay. I'm curious if you guys feel like you have a better process, any tips or tricks for me, because I'm also still always learning. But I have these cards up on eBay now. Very curious to see when these sell, as well as some of the other ones. But regardless, we are doing good in terms of a profit perspective, in terms of an inventory perspective. Very pleased with how the challenge is going, and even more pleased that this weekend we have a card show here in Nashville. So Saturday there'll be a card show. We should have an update probably on Sunday or Monday with another new collector challenge video. If you guys want to see that, going to be a ton of fun. Card shows, as I said, I think are the best places to get deals on cards. So we'll be trying to document my experience and how I approach a card show with a limited budget, how I approach a card show when I'm trying to find cards that are good value, etc. So if you guys want to see that, make sure to subscribe, make sure to follow along, hit that bell for those notifications. I really appreciate you guys that are checking out the videos, liking, subscribing, commenting, all that jazz. Really, really helps us out. We've been having some crazy growth, and I'm hoping to see it continue, obviously. And it's all thanks to you. So can't thank you guys enough. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll catch you in the next one.